this week's chapter of Bleach, Ichigo and his friends finally launch into the stratosphere on their long journey to the Soul King's palace. And Senjumaru gets to throw down with the W. Sternritter, who has a hilarious speech pattern. It probably wouldn't be that easy to talk with two tongues, and this guy manages a little bit, but the translations are hilarious. Now, his abilities are elaborated on a little bit this week. We get to learn that literally it is fear that is negating everybody's attacks in a sense. Whenever anybody tries to attack him, someone that he has seen before, their blades will literally bend and bend away from him. In other words, it sort of negates any sort of attack. But because Senjumaru is such a badass, she is able to use her mysterious ways to attack him from the inside, and literally by the end of the chapter, this W. Sternritter looks like he's about to be ripped apart from all of these weird needles which are erupting from his body. And that's pretty much the end of the chapter this week. A very simple one, but what I loved about this chapter was the nostalgia factor, and that's actually something that Orihime brought up in the very beginning. This is definitely giving me those old school feelings of the very first Soul Society arc, and a lot of that does have to do with the fact that it looks like Ganju is actually going to be joining Ichigo and his friends on their little adventure. He even comes in on riding on his pig with just like the old days. It's so funny. I was kind of hoping that since Ganju was coming along, he might actually be bringing those Fullbringers with him, because they were teased at the very beginning of this arc, and we have not seen them since, so it's only a matter of time before they show up, and I'm sure it's going to be one hell of a surprise. But as they're going up into the sky, they are reminiscing about the old times they spent together when they went to go save Kuchiki, and of course, they're wondering what's going to happen to Ishida. But Ichigo, being the main hero, decides he's just going to drag his ass back, and everything's going to be fine. So what's the rundown on this week's chapter of Bleach? Very simple chapter. Only a few things happened. Ichigo and his friends went to the Soul King's palace, and Senjumaru fought against the W. Sternritter. That's it. However, all the action in the second half of the chapter had some really cool artwork, especially when all of her soldiers were attacking at once, with all of their blades being bent and them all getting completely cut in half. But I'm still really interested to learn a little bit more about Senjumaru's powers, which have only been hinted at so far in this entire arc. She considers herself the Thousand Hands user, and that's because she has all of these mechanical hands which she can use to sort of sneak in and attack, and that's exactly how she's able to defeat the W. Sternritter. I just think it's funny that while all of this is going on, and while they're fighting against the W. Sternritter, it's pretty obvious that the Quincy leader and his group has already just sort of kept moving away and making their way to the Soul King, and I just can't wait to see how that's going to happen, and I don't know how long it's going to take for Ichigo and his friends to arrive, but obviously it looks like it's all leading up to this massive battle in the dimension of the Soul King, and I think that's really awesome. However, I'd still like to see some of the other characters come back and make their appearances. I'm still really interested on what's going on with Kenpachi and everything, and that's just because Kenpachi kicks a lot of ass. Not to mention all the other battles that they sort of went away from, and just the characters that they've been teasing and not bringing back. There's still a lot of great surprises that are going to be happening in the final arc of Bleach. But this one right here, just like some of the previous weeks, was just kind of slow. The artwork, on the other hand, was pretty cool, and especially in the second half with all the action, and the humor was very prevalent in the first half, so I can't wait to see how Ganju is going to change in this arc. Hopefully he actually does have some new powers, and he's actually been working on becoming something more of a threat, although the fact that he's going to the dimension of the Soul King to fight against the Quincy leader and everything, I don't know, he's going to have to really surprise me with something, or maybe this is actually going to go in line with somehow bringing the Fullbringers in. Maybe he has a way of bringing them into the Soul King's palace that they don't know about, because Ganju always has a few surprises. As goofy and ridiculous as he is, he even has a map to the Soul King's palace. I mean, this guy is literally like the black market expert of Soul Society, so he's always got a little trick up his sleeve. So hopefully I'm expecting a lot from this character. Otherwise, this was still just sort of a short, simple chapter, but one that Bleach fans should definitely check out because Ichigo and his friends are getting ready to go on an adventure, Ganju shows up, and Senjumaru is kicking a lot of ass. So I'm going to give this week's chapter a 3 out of 5. Check it out, guys. Pretty entertaining stuff. Thank you guys for watching my review. If you liked this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up, and please tell me what you thought about this week's chapter of Bleach. What did you think of the return of Ganju? Do you think he's going to bring the Fullbringers along eventually? And what do you want to see in the next battle between Senjumaru and the W. Sternritter? If you guys have not subscribed to our channel already, please go ahead and do so. You can do that by clicking on this button right up here. You can also follow us on Facebook and on Twitter.
Do you like Amazon.com? I know I do. Corey and I now have an Amazon link in our video description box below. And if you go to it and buy anything through Amazon.com, it will support our channel. So bookmark that link, make it happen, and support our channel without having to do a damn thing.
Another great way you guys can help support our channel is by donating directly through our PayPal link in the description box below. We recommend $2 a month, although this is completely optional. But the best way to go about this is by sneaking into your mom's room and taking $2. This way, she won't even notice. And we won't have to shake you up for all of your lunch money. So guys, that concludes this review today. Super Kami Guru 9000. Out.